You hate to see it. You might think you hate to see the pick, but no, you hate to see Packers Twitter here really defining itself along an age gap of people that were older than 12 in 2005 and people that were younger than 12 in 2005. And this is the divide of I saw this happen successfully 15 years ago.
I think that and this is for people who also think that the Packers did an absolutely terrible job in the draft, don't understand they have a completely different offensive scheme than what they ran for the last 15 years when Aaron Rodgers was the Aaron Rodgers you guys are thinking
Save
about.
the ammo. They're going to hit us, Brandon.
Did
Save
they
the
tell
ammo.
Aaron before the draft? Did they tell him is my question.
You don't
think they did.
You don't think that he knows what offense he's running?
Okay, well,
I mean, be honest.
Well,
you don't think the starting quarterback knows what offense he's running?
Tyler,
I don't know.
Meet 1 hour in, Brandon.
Brandon's on fire tonight.
You're coming out of a guy who is
That's fine.
the starting quarterback.
That's fine,
You don't
but
think he knows the offense?
I don't think-
You think that some random guy on the street
I do
who
believe
thinks
he got
who thinks he's
blindsided.
playing GM
I believe he got
knows the offense
blindsided.
better?
I respect your opinion, but I believe he got blindsided. I believe LaFleur did not tell Rodgers any of this. And Rodgers is sitting at home going, what are you guys doing? I want a wide receiver.
I don't even
Then
think
why
are
does he want a wide receiver? Why do you think he wants a wide
today's
receiver?
NFL, why are you doing run first?
We're going to be
Why?
running.
Get a bell. Get a bell. We're going to take turns.
Matt LaFleur is running Kyle Shanahan's offense.
Okay.
That's the same offense.
We just
What
drafted
did
a guy to be Kyle
what,
Juszczyk.
Now, what did the San Francisco 49ers do in the NFC Championship game?
They ran
the ball
over everybody
32
in
times
the
and threw it
playoffs.
8 times.
Raheem Mostert
yeah.
just scored again.
But you got one of the best quarterbacks in the game.
Okay.
Why wouldn't you want to
Tom Brady
utilize
doesn't
him?
throw the ball 80 times a game.
So how
Okay.
much more dangerous will Rodgers be if he's more accentuated out of play action because we just also drafted a type of running back that the Packers have not had.
I like
Since Eddie
I
Lacy.
like
And Eddie
the
Lacy was
Dillon-
playing
I like the
zone
Dillon
scheme.
pick.
I was gonna say,
I like the
Ahmad
Dillon
Green.
pick. But you reached for that tight end. Come on.
No, I think the
Did
running
you
backs
just
are-
throw in the go big red? just 'cause
You
I
said
Ahman
Amon Green. Yeah. All right. Quick thing. Here's why I agree with Tyler on the wide receiver thing. Is do you not hear yourselves when you do this podcast when all you did was complain that you had Devontae Adams and Devontae Adams wasn't even that good
It
and
was
you
a
didn't have
transition
anybody?
year, and now I think
There was a premium of wide receivers in this
Wow.
year's draft. It was like all these great receivers. You could have traded. You could have done something. But you got Jordan Love, who you overreached for. He is not a first-round
We'll get to
quarterback.
why.
You're right.
We'll
You're
get
right.
to
There
why.
was only multiple people who said he was a top 10 quarterback.
didn't-
Top
We'll
10 pick this
I
year.
didn't see it.
we'll get to
But-
why.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I mean, whatever.
I gotta have Brandon's back here, and in regards to the Packers draft, we'll get to their grade and what Tyler says, and what we all think. But if you look at what they did, you can see the transition in scheme.
course.
It's
And
not
yes.
Mike McCarthy
They,
anymore.
they
No,
grabbed what?
sure.
They didn't
It's
grab
not-
receivers. They grabbed what? 5 offensive
It's
linemen.
clear what they're doing. That's not the problem.
They did. Yeah, that is good.
But that is the problem because that's why you're bashing them.
But they
That
did
tight
what
end
fits
was a
what
reach.
they're doing.
That tight
so
end was
you're
a reach.
giving them.
He's
you're-
gonna be
you're-
playing
So
fullback.
you're taking their one pick. You're taking one pick and
No,
saying
that-
that is what you're doing.
They
That's your
re-signed-
only argument.
Okay.
Whew!
Okay.
They re-signed Jace to be the tight end, probably going forward.
Look, if you were bashing my team's draft, I would be just as hot as you. So I'm gonna back the F
But
off.
We'll get into it.
You keep saying.
We'll
you
get
keep
into
saying
it.
they,
Because
they
I-
reached for a tight end. That's
As
your
a-
only. That's
as an
what
ob-
you've said like
as
4
an ob-
times.
As an yes, so did New Orleans. As an objective
But
draft
why does that
analyst,
make their
the
their grade
Packers
go
did
from an
not
A
have a
to
good
a
draft.
to a D?
Because they
One
okay.
pick in the third
I don't
round?
have an answer for you because
the
you,
third
you
round?
think that everybody in the building knew that they were going to run first, but I don't think they did. That's where we're going to stay right there. We're going to agree to disagree on that point because we have to. Otherwise, we're not going to get through this conversation.
I'm going to assume that people within the organization
Probably knew what was
knew
going
the
on.
You're probably
transition to
right.
where it was
You're
going.
probably right, but I believe what I
But
believe.
that's
okay.
you're right,
Okay.
and so that's where, as the public, there was a lot of shock with the Packers pick. Now, here, don't make me be the bridge guy between this argument, but I'm going to do it
You have to be. Which I thought it would be the other way around. I thought Brandon had to be.
because
the
I was the one that immediately texted the group, being like, "What just happened?"
Oh,
I texted you on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that what we're seeing is the gap between what we expect a team with an all-time talent receiver to do,
Yes.
and what the Packers are transitioning into which is a kind of against the grain. But we saw it
Sure.
work for LaFleur's previous team
did.
this year in Tennessee.
Yes, it did.
So we'll get into that.
And that's obvious. That's cool. That's
I'm
fine.
not saying that. I'm not saying I didn't think. I did not think Jordan Love was going to be picked. I thought I thought when they traded up, they were drafting Patrick Queen. That's who I thought the Packers were getting in the round
And
one.
that would be.
would've made
I
sense.
honestly thought that would have made
That's
sense.
who I.
more
When they
sense to me.
traded up from 30 to 26, that's immediately who came to my mind was Patrick Queen.
I was worried
It wasn't
about
Jordan Love.
I was worried about taking linebacker
So-
early once they signed Kirksley.
But I got to know because I don't think you guys
That's
have
who I
said.
thought.
Are you guys clearly you guys are happy with the Packers draft?
I think that
I
Like
don't.
A plus for you guys? I mean,
Not
honestly.
an A plus. I don't think you can. I don't think
I can't
you
do that
can
till, like,
draft- I don't-
2024.
Yeah, I don't think that
right,
you can.
But everybody does. That's no fun. Give me a grade. I gave grades to every other team, including my own. And come on, give me a grade.
for what the Packers, for what I assume they're trying to transition into and what I can see out of it, I would say
They did exactly what they were trying
B
to do.
plus to A minus because they stuck to their guns no matter what the reactions were in
Perfect.
later
See,
rounds.
that's what I was looking for. Just an analysis of your team's
B.
draft.
It's a B. It's
So-
good.
So that was you hate to see it. And so before we actually do our draft
so
coverage,
contentious tonight.
I know. Hey, man, the draft brings up. We haven't had sports. It's
Yeah, I
building.
know, we're so
This is-
angry.
This is
God damn it!
this is sports argument blue balls. This is what we're in right now. This is our new world.
Can I
gotta
just
get it out,
say
man? My stomach hurts.
that's probably the least I've ever talked on a segment.
You let it
Because
roll. Let it roll.
Every time I tried to say,
Epinesa falling to 54 was my hate to see it. Just real quick.
oh, you do.
Oh, I like that.
I
yeah,
thought he should have gone way
should've
earlier.
gone higher.
I agree with that, and that's the perfect
He's a
transition.
tweener, whatever.
We're gonna do our Cyclones
I
and
guess I'll save
Hawkeyes
it.
here. Sorry, Jake.
I was
please.
just gonna say this. I don't think maybe they didn't overreach for Jordan Love. I think his position isn't terrible. Whatever. But I just think it's interesting that they get him because Aaron Rodgers is going to be a terrible mentor because he knows he's going to be Brett Favre and he doesn't want to do that. And don't tell me that's not true. And I see exactly he's gonna do. I see him doing exactly what Brady did.
We'll get into
He gets
it.
a situation. He gets where he is. He's like, you know what? I got free agency coming up. I'm gonna make money somewhere.
We'll get into it. And besides that,
awesome.
we have the obvious. We did talk some about it, but Jordan Love, it's the Packers. Go Pack, go! And for what we touched on earlier, I gotta say, I don't think Aaron is going to be a teacher, but I don't think he's going to actively hamper Love's learning like Favre
No,
did.
he's not-
Because 2 years ago
not
we
gonna
had
be a
Gunslinger.
dick.
Gunslinger
I
came
disagree.
out.
I disagree.
Everyone has read Gunslinger by now that needs to, including, I guarantee you, Aaron Rodgers read that book. And so, do you think he likes, having it remembered that his first interaction is with Brett Favre is him saying, "What's up, Grandpa?" There's things like that Aaron would probably, hopefully, knock on wood, want to do a little differently. And I think he's going to be a little more open with Jordan Love, which, I mean, Packer fans, Brandon, we don't have a lot of room here because we haven't had a backup that doesn't make me worry since Matt Flynn left in free agency. I mean, 8-7 years.
That's Matt Flynn.
I
you're
definitely
talking
see
about.
the
Hey, 4 touchdown game against
Rodgers Love
Patriots.
relationship being better than the Favre Rodgers relationship.
Yes.
I don't think so. I really don't. I think.
Far,
I think
Rodgers is a gunslinger, but Favre is like
Favre
Favre
would play
likes to
tricks
swing
on
his dick
Rodgers.
around.
Yeah.
Favre likes to swing his
Why-
dick around,
but why didn't
and
that
Rodgers
work?
being drafted was an insult to Favre. Honestly,
you don't think
Rodgers
this
is probably
Jordan
like,
Love thing is
hey,
it?
if Rodgers
No,
does
because
know
who's the
what's
backup
going
right
on.
now?
Hey, if Brandon and Paul say Rodgers does know what's going on, he is not sitting there going, "That's an insult to me as a draft pick," because he knows what they're doing.
I think there's
but
more dissension.
Favre took Rodgers being drafted as an insult, man.
And he took it as a personal,
Yeah,
my
a
job is to
slight.
make his life hell.
Rodgers
you
not going
don't
to do
see
that.
that with Rodgers.
I
No, I
don't.
don't.
You're not actively going. All right, he's going to be starting by year 2.
No.
No.
Gutekunst
Rodgers is
said-
still going to try and. Rodgers is still going to play. He's still going to
Isn't
show
he
him that
under
he's better than
contract for
him.
at least
That
3
doesn't
more
mean that he
years?
hates him.
Right. The Packers GM came out and said on day 2 of the draft in a conference call interview that we want Aaron to be the quarterback here, hopefully as long as he wants to be. And if he plays at a high level for 3 more years, I don't see how that doesn't benefit
If
everyone.
it was a ploy to light a fire under his ass, I don't
it
know
worked.
why. It
Must-
did, because he's such a competitor
Yeah.
But this is
that
but
he will never let, if he can help it, he'll never let Love see the field unless he gets like hurt.
But you
I
got
just
to.
I don't know.
I just don't. Rodgers is not upset, and here's why.
I think he's
don't
too
think
much
he
of a
is.
competitor.
No,
I think
even when I was saying, I think he was just blind. I'm not. I never said he was like upset. I think he was just kind of like, in my opinion, what we were talking about earlier in the show.
Maybe
I think
would have been like,
I
okay,
think he was
maybe
just like,
next
what
year,
the
but
hell?
whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he was just maybe like, what the hell? I don't think he was pissed.
No, I don't necessarily think that I don't understand it, but I don't hate it. That's where I'm
Yeah.
at with it. I don't hate the pick,
Yeah.
but I don't understand it.
I think it was great given the value, and here's how I would have
The
phrased it
reasoning
to
given for
Rodgers.
jumping up did make sense to me.
Yeah.
Because he's like,
Well, the
hey,
Colts
that's
were
a
trained
that's
to
a type
trade.
of player that the Colts were going to get him, and Packers had a chance to get Jordan Love.
Well, the Packers had already tried to trade with the Vikings for number 22.
And we're
they,
not
they
going to
tried
let you
to
do
trade.
that.
They tried to trade up to get.
They heard the Colts were
different
trying to get
person.
in the first round,
Okay.
and
But
so
they
were
didn't. They
going
didn't
up.
want. They don't want they obviously didn't want T. Higgins or anybody like that. They wanted Justin Jefferson. That's the guy that Goot really liked was
Yeah.
Justin Jefferson.
I'm surprised he fell to us.
That's
So
the guy
surprised.
that it seemed
Well,
like they really
Philadelphia
wanted.
took Rager before us. I'm like, really?
Well,
Great,
they lost
thanks.
Aguilar, and they didn't have anybody
I'll take
else.
Justin
Jefferson is
Jefferson.
not the speed guy. Then it
No.
seems like they wanted to. I mean, look at their receiving core now. They got
Who?
the Eagles.
I mean,
Yeah.
who they got?
The Eagles. They got Goodwin. They got Rager. They got Deshaun. Like they're up there with Kansas City in terms of speed on the receiving core.
Yeah.
They addressed that this offseason.
With a big arm quarterback like Carson Wentz. I mean,
The Justin
As long as he
Jefferson
stays
thing
healthy.
is what makes me think this. I don't like this move because, again, it goes back to you don't have weapons for him. Like you got him a running back, okay, but you've got Devontae Adams, who you guys said isn't as good as they think he is. He's overvalued.
Whoa.
You did say it.
who said that?
I
don't think
You
anyone said
both
that.
Yeah, bring the
have said
receipt.
that Devontae
Devontae
Adams
Adams?
isn't as good.
I just said that. I said what 2 weeks ago that he was the third, fourth best receiver in the league.
I would put him at
I don't
eight.
think I said he was.
I would
say
say 8
top
to
10.
5th. 8 to
I wouldn't
5th
say
is where
that.
I'd
I wouldn't
put
go
him.
I'd say
that
top
high.
That's exactly what I said. Like literally 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, bring the receipts, Jake, because that's
I just
that
said
was
you
the
guys
question.
listen to the show.
But clearly, no matter
I
how
would
good he is,
take
he
a
still
Jefferson.
needs somebody, to take. That's what you guys were lacking last year, is somebody to take the heat off of him.
Yeah,
I mean, you
and
had
now,
a guy-
but
Every once in a
lineman
while,
or
like one game
receiver,
would
I
be
would've taken
Lazard,
that
next one would be
over
like
Jordan Love.
Allison, and it was never consistent. And that's to
That's
me.
okay.
That's where Funches comes
That's
in.
why I thought you guys. Oh, okay. That's why.
Funches?
That's why I
Is
thought
it
you
two
guys would
with
take a wide
Lazard?
receiver. That's why. But hey, now in defense of the Packers, which you'll never hear me say again, but in defense,
Write it down.
listen, in defense of the Packers, clearly. Aaron Rodgers has a better relationship with Matt LaFleur than with McCarthy because everything about what they did last year was everything that McCarthy wasn't doing. So there's a better relationship there, number one. Number two, the Green Bay Packers, now, Rodgers has been able to cover holes in your guys' roster for many, many years.
Like their offensive
depending on which one. But that means he's so good. So you wouldn't do. It makes sense that Paul and Brandon are telling me that he wouldn't know about that. Like, that's dumb. He would, because if he is, like I believe he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and he's a future Hall of Famer, why wouldn't he know about it? So you're right about that. And honestly, you wouldn't just do it without asking him. And honestly, you probably would do it, maybe not with his blessing, but making sure that he knew what you were going to do.
yeah, it
If
doesn't
you're
matter if he
talking
likes
about,
it.
right, that's
Yeah.
He's
clear.
not
You're
the
under
boss.
contract, dude.
That's okay.
You do what
fair
I
enough.
say.
Fair
You do what
enough.
I say.
But see that's
why I believe
surprising for me to hear a Packers fan say that about Aaron Rodgers. I honestly, 2 days ago, I don't know or like 5 days ago, I don't know if I would have heard you guys say that about Rodgers.
Well, here's how you
I
present
think
this.
you guys are kind of. I mean,
I don't know, because I hear this presented to Rodgers in a way that makes him agree with it. If the Packers, if Goot came to him and said, Aaron, I need you to really think. We've signed a receiver. We're developing these guys, but I need you to really think about what wastes a season more is if we give you another weapon, or if your collarbone half snaps for another 8 games and we lose 6 of those 8 games because we have
Right.
nobody behind you.
Yeah.
So we are going to focus more on the running game, and we're going to do running back by committee,
Okay.
and we're going to make sure we have somebody as a safety net in case we lose you for 3 weeks. We hold you back for a month so that we make sure we get you for the playoffs. I see Aaron being okay with this in the short version of the long term, in the next 3 years, him saying, okay, I understand how this keeps, maybe in a week where we're playing the Lions next week, I can sit out after I
Sure.
tweak my ankle
Okay.
because we have Love that's been
because
in
it is
here
a
for
long
year.
season. Yeah,
Absolutely.
And he's not getting any younger.
He's not getting more durable. Like we've
No.
seen in the past few years, Rodgers gets dinged up more.
But to finish what you guys are saying, I mean, I'm not saying they can't do what they set out to do in the draft, what they're going to do this season offensively. I'm not saying they can't. I'm just saying if you are going to do that, I question some of the picks. I I believe that tight Dylan is a good player, but you guys got Aaron Jones. However, you're talking about running back by committee, and Dylan is a great pick for that purpose.
Completely opposite runner than Aaron Jones.
I think
Right.
he's going to be
Exactly the
he's going to
opposite.
replace Jamal Williams is what best case scenario
Right,
is what
and
I see.
And
I
knew that
thought
before I
Jamal, but-
talked to you guys that Dylan was a good
I know
pick.
you like Jamal Williams.
That was really the one that I liked. But yeah, I just honestly, no. Reaching for a tight end, I could see Brandon kind of be like, are you out of your mind? Like, no, that's not going to break your draft. I get that. That is a little bit of a overstatement on my part. However, you're the Packers, man. You're one of the premier all-time franchises in the league.
Isolate that.
And to be really honest, so are the Vikings. They just don't have as many championships. Any at all. But
team
to be
wins.
honest, I don't.
Iconic by length of
I
time in the
see,
league.
as an outside person looking in, and yes, somebody who doesn't really like the Packers, I see, maybe I hope to see trouble brewing. I'm kind of hoping for some smoke from the
I
hill.
saw that from Bears people and Vikings people. It's like, trouble in paradise.
Hey, can we all agree
think
that it was fun watching the Bears poop the bed too? I mean,
Oh,
they,
absolutely.
They crapped the bed way worse than the
how
Packers.
can
They
did.
one
still have
team-
Mitchell Trubisky. They have no room
Right.
to talk.
Ryan Pace is back to the wall in a dark room, blind firing with 2 pistols.
I mean-
he has no idea what he's doing.
I mean,
and
he's
he's
got
just trying
12,
to hit a shot.
I mean, he's got 12 tight ends on his team.
Yeah.
He has more tight ends than he does offensive line.
Can we
Talk about run first. What the hell?
tight end package? Can we have a
What
tight
is
end?
that?
The Bears are going to run a tight end only package.